All right, so here's the beginning of Promised Land 52877. I just wanted to make a little video here to kind of break down the intro and the solo that I showed earlier. Kind of go through it bit by bit and then put it all together. So it starts off Bobby's part with this A chord where the bottom two strings are just ringing out, and you have to mute the third string G, so just A power chord, and then they let these ring. And that it just count that 8 times, so it's 8, and then Jerry comes in. And that's the typical Johnny B. Good intro as well, same thing. Starting on the C sharp and then climbing up E, F sharp, and A, like that. And then you got a bunch of double stops in there. And then that last part is starting at the A. So it's A, G, E. So that's that. And then the song transitions right into the C, which is a little bit odd, but that's what it does. So, and then Jerry's part comes in on the 3 count, so you kind of have to, so the way I do it is just, and then just hold that C for 2 beats, and then the third beat, he just hits a C triad for a couple times. Those are just 6s in E, so it's, I guess we're all familiar with that, hopefully. So it's, and then he's going to target the F. There's an F chord in there that's for a measure, and that goes up to the G. So to get to the F, he's going to target the root, starting from the C down. So he, instead of doing the typical, he just goes, and then he's going to go up to G. So it's, so there's G, and then the third of G is B. And then he kind of moves up to like an A minor for a second there. It's just a couple of, it's more like a dyad. So it's, and then this is just part of again, part of G7. So he's playing, the G he'll play at dominant 7. So, sorry, hold on. So that's just F. So instead of it's just a variation on that. So he hits that F note twice, and then he just walks down to the C root. So in whole, it's and then he does a C7, kind of just picking it rhythmically. And then does a quick passing, like a B7, leading down to the F, but he's going to play it on the third, which is A, so he's going to go. He just walks up, so A is chromatically. When he hits these chromatic notes, A, B flat, B, and C, he's kind of hitting the roots along the way with some redundancy there, but he's like. And then the second part of it starts off with a C in sixth, so it's going to E to the C. So it's, and he's going to get down to the F, so he's going to go. There's your F triad. So again. And then he does this little walk down. I think he's trying to play in a G7 dominant form, and then he hits an extra note in there. I'm not sure if he meant to do that or not, but he did. So technically that would be like actually in C, but he's playing it over the G. So it's just go back to that first part. And then he's kind of filling in for G here. So he's kind of bending this up to the D, and then your pinky gets the F note there. And to my ear, he does this a little bit unusual, but he's getting the A and the B notes in there, which fit into the G scale. So. Back to the C, so they resolve into the C. Zip, sorry. And then that ends the intro, and then he starts off right away into the first solo, and that's a really cool kind of a run that has some enclosures in it. So he starts off on the G note here, which is the fifth degree on C, and then he uses an approach note, which is just the F sharp. So it goes. So that's G, F sharp, G, C, F, and then the next part is targeting the E, and then there's a G in it, so E flat, E. So it's, so E flat, E, G, F sharp, again targeting, sorry I said G, I meant A, sorry. Let's go back. G, F sharp, G, C, F, E flat, E, A, then F sharp, G, then D, B, C. So the basic pattern there is that there's a whole step above the target note. The target note's G right here. He's going a whole step above, which is A, half step below, target. And I'm sure you've all heard this, a million times, but that's what he's doing. So the whole thing is. So the last part is he slides up to E. And just walking down the scale. And then it's G in sixth, so it's walking up to the D from the C. And F, just in passing though. So let's go back again. And again, that last part is just starting at G. he's really just playing almost like an arpeggio, but in a sliding some notes in there. And what he's doing here is, let's see if I get the right. He slides up to the 9, which is A, and then chromatically back down to the root. So again, one more time from the beginning. And that's the end of that first the first run through it. And then he starts off, so he's back to C, right? So he goes starts with a C triad here. Okay, so he goes. And he's kind of walking down. If you hear those notes behind this little phrase that he does, he goes, the full phrase is like this. Played it one more time. So it's C. Start at the G. That's here he's doing like a little from the 5th of G to the 6th, which is E, and then like that. And when he walks down chromatically, he ends at the A, which is the 3rd of F. And technically, he's playing in F right now, and then it goes up to the G. And the way that he gets there is he starts on B, and then you're playing basically in the G mixolydian or C major scale. So, all right. So let's go back to the. Okay, so we got that, and then the next part is more stuff in G. So he's playing D, then the minor to major 3rd, which is B, so B flat to B, and then the G to F. So and then the resolution to C right there. So the whole phrase is like this. Yep, sorry. Try it again. There you go. So this is my first video kind of breaking things down, and hopefully have some more to come in the near future here. And I'm sure I'll get better at it as I go along, but that's my first take on it. So I hope that gives you some good insight into what he's doing here, and I'm sure I'll break things down even more as I get used to this, but that's the first go at it. All right.